All right, so what are we talking about today? We're talking about buying a new car in 2021. It's possible, but it sure is not easy, especially when you're talking about a truck. All right, so I'm driving around town in my current car, obviously, actually looking to sell it. So we've been looking at getting a truck actually for quite some time now. I've been thinking about getting a truck, wanted one ever since I was a kid. The time just wasn't right on it. So just kind of cruising around here, trying to be safe, obviously, but really was gonna pull the trigger in December. Last year was a little tricky, obviously. It was COVID and just getting out and everything going on, so I kind of held off, and then got to the end of the year, and interest rates started to drop, and so was about to pull the trigger on a truck. Decided instead to do a refi of the house, which was good, saved me some money. But that also meant that I delayed on picking up a new truck. And unfortunately, that then led into, March, April, and now into May, where there's a truck shortage. There's a big truck shortage. There's a new car shortage in the entire U.S. You can, read up. I'm sure you've probably read up or researched or saw videos on it talking about the global chip shortage and how it's impacting the car industry. The demand for trucks, it seems like, is still really high, but a lot of production has been cut, and that means it's a little bit harder than ever to buy a new vehicle, which also means then it's hard to buy a used vehicle, because if you're not getting those new vehicles and people trading in those cars or selling those cars, then obviously there's a big trickle-down effect that goes on there. So, I've been negotiating or talking with dealerships, literally within 300 miles north or south of where I live, just seeing who's got inventory coming in. Nobody has on their lots exactly what I'm looking for, and not that I have the pickiest of needs, I guess, but I guess a little bit I do. I'm looking for something very specific as far as model, make, color. If color for a new vehicle isn't as big of a deal and you're more open to ideas and look at something maybe that wasn't your primary, you've got multiple kind of options there, then there's going to be a lot more options for you. So, I think, when we talk about buying a new vehicle in 2021, I think there's a couple things on it. Number one is, be open to maybe different options than what you've looked at before. The more open you are, the more options you're going to have. Obviously, if you're looking for something in a price range, but you're open to different, makes and models, then that's going to give you the widest variety. If you're looking specifically at a certain type of make or model, then you're going to be a little bit more narrowed down. And then in my case, right, where some of the features and the upgrades and those things aren't as big of a deal to me, but I want a specific color, that narrows it down even more. Having said that, I don't want a car that's full of a bunch of features that I don't want, that's just being used to drive the price up. Like that really doesn't make any sense to me. And so it's made it a little bit difficult, so what I'm looking at is, vehicles that are on order, that are coming in to the dealership. And in a lot of cases, it's, there's been several that I've found over the last couple of weeks that I really liked, reached out, hey, is this available? I'm interested, wanting to move on it pretty quickly, only to find out someone's already got their name on it, meaning they put down some kind of a deposit. Depending on the dealership, I've been told $500 to $1,000 is kind of the range there that I've heard, that basically when that vehicle comes in, that it's already reserved under somebody's name. And I don't know what the time frame is that maybe they could back out of that. But so far I haven't, I've kind of said, hey, if this one becomes available or that buyer doesn't actually move forward with it, let me know. So far that just hasn't happened. I haven't had anybody reach back out to me. So I'm assuming that either they've got already somebody backed up in the line on a waiting list, if you may, or that if someone is willing to put down a deposit. Everyone I've talked to, except for one dealership actually, but everyone said that it's a refundable deposit, meaning, if you change your mind or if the vehicle comes in, it's not exactly what you thought it would be, that you could actually get that money back and back out of it. But there was one dealership that it's $1,000 deposit and it's non-refundable, essentially saying we're going to reserve it for you and you're expected to buy it. And if you don't buy it, that we're going to take your money. We're going to take your money back. And I don't know how that works. I know that there's buyer's remorse policies in certain states that protect consumers. So I don't know exactly how that works, but it's doable. You've got to be working with a lot of different dealerships. That's kind of what my strategy has been. Talking with them, finding out what's coming in, finding out what fits your needs, having a little bit of open-mindedness on the exact, features that you're looking at. And, that's going to give you really, at the end of the day, the best chance of being able to find a new vehicle in this crazy, spring of 2021. And, you've got to just adapt a little bit to the situation if you're going to have a chance at finding that vehicle that you want to.